Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video day, and today the New York Knicks beat the Detroit Pistons 123 to 112. Amazing win for the Knicks in Game 1. 34 points for Jalen Brunson, 8 assists, 2 rebounds, 12 for 27, 2 for 5 from 3, 8 for 10 at the free throw line for Brunson, 23 points and 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, and 2 blocks for Karl-Anthony Towns in his first playoff game as a Knick. Amazing defensive performance from Cat. In his 39 minutes. OG Anunoby was fantastic as well in this game. 23 points, 7 rebounds, 5 steals, 2 blocks. Most of their defensive, steals and blocks came from OG and Cat. They had the Knicks had 12 steals as a team. 9 of those came from Cat and OG. The 3 others came off the bench: Robinson, Payne, and McBride. And then they had, and keep it going, they had 9 blocks as a team, and 4 of those came from OG and Cat. Bridges had 2, 1 for Hart, 2 for Robinson. A little bit more blocks outside of Cat and OG than steals, but still, the stocks for which I feel like I shouldn't have to explain this, but there might be some people that don't know what this is. Stocks, steals, and blocks. Most of those, were for OG and Cat tonight. They had 21 as a team, and there was a total of, to be exact, 13. 13 for Cat and OG. So those 2 guys were unbelievable defensively in this game tonight. Josh Hart had 13 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists, shooting 6 for 10. Surprisingly, Josh Hart first playoff game, only 30 minutes. Usually you're seeing Josh Hart play a lot, but they're only 30 minutes for Josh Hart. Bridges only played 29 as well. I think that's great for Tom Thibodeau early in the playoffs. Obviously OG played a lot. Brunson played a lot. Cat played a lot. 40 for Brunson, almost 39 minutes for Cat. OG played 44. So those guys are playing a lot, but I think Bridges and Josh Hart, 2 guys you don't want to wear down. For them to be at the minutes they were at tonight, I think that's great early on in the playoffs. You want to, if New York's able to win this series, and most likely, I'm going to say it, they're going to face Boston. Orlando's not taking down Boston. When they face Boston, you want to have Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges ready to go for that series. And so if you can have a couple games where they don't have to play a lot, but still are very helpful, that's great. And Josh Hart did do a great job tonight. 13, 7, and 6. A block. Bridges wasn't much on the scoring end, but shooting-wise was good. 4 for 9. Outside of his 3-point shots, was 0 for 2 from 3. Was 4 for 7. Had 2 blocks. So, off the bench, campaign, when the Knicks, when their bench looks like the way they did tonight, there is a reason to not play Josh Hart and Bridges as much. Campaign looked amazing. 14 points, 5 for 7, 3 for 5 from 3. Mitch Robinson, 18 minutes, 3 for 3 from the floor, 6 points, 6 rebounds, 1 steal, 2 blocks. 15 minutes for McBride. He didn't score, was 0 for 3, but had 4 assists, so he was facilitating well, had a steal. Landry Shamet shot 1 for 2, 2 points in 10 minutes, so he wasn't as good as McBride, Payne, or Robinson, but this Knicks bench tonight was really good and surprisingly impressive to a DNP. So for the Pistons tonight, this was their for most of these guys. For most of these guys, it was their first playoff game ever. You look at Cade, Duran, All-Star Thompson, those young guys, Isaiah Stewart, Ron Holland, who played in this game tonight. That's their first playoff games. You got veterans. You got veterans on this team like Tobias Harris, Tim Hardaway, Dennis Schroeder, and Malik Beasley all have playoff experience. But at the same time, half the players that played tonight didn't, and I thought they played a good basketball game for a team that a team that has half the team with no playoff experience. And so Tobias Harris scored 25 points. I think this is great for Tobias Harris. We saw the struggles he had against the New York Knicks in the first round last year when he was with the Philadelphia 76ers. And that was bad. It was so bad that it was, I think, was a key. It was look. I don't know if Tobias Harris would have re-signed in Philadelphia if Tobias Harris would have had a good series against the Knicks, but I think it led his struggles in that series was a key. It was key to the departure of Tobias Harris in Philly. I think he probably still would have left, but and they probably still would have not wanted to re-sign him. But I think that for him to go out there tonight and play great against this Knicks team, a team he absolutely was terrible against last year in the playoffs, shooting 8 for 13 tonight, 4 for 5 from 3, 25 points, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks. You'd love to see it. And we've seen this a little bit so far in the playoffs. I mean, let's look at it. I mean, Klay Thompson, the Mavs were in Sacramento, and Klay Thompson in the play-in in the same situation the year before, shot 0 for 10 in an elimination game. And I'm not trying to talk bad about Klay Thompson, but the other night he goes out there and starts killing it in the first half, draining 3 after 3 after 3. He scored. I don't know if he actually got to 20 points, but I want to say he had 18, but he might have gone over 20. And he didn't play that much in the fourth quarter because it was a blowout for Dallas. And so I know it had to feel good for Klay to go back to Sacramento and play the way he did. I know they're not in the playoffs now, but after the struggles he had there the year before, that had to have been great for Klay. And so the same thing goes for Tobias Harris here with going and playing great against this Knicks team after what happened last year. But Asar Thompson looked good too in his first playoff game. Only played 23 minutes, but had 10.6 rebounds, 23 minutes. 19 points for Tim Hardaway Jr., 2 rebounds, shot 7 for 13, 3 for 8 from 3 against his former team, 28 minutes. Jalen Duren didn't play much, had a negative 20 in the plus minus, although there weren't many players on the Pistons that were in the plus on the plus minus. 7.6 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 for 4, got in some foul trouble in this game. Cade Cunningham, wasn't very good in the first half, but, scoring wise, but was much more involved scoring wise in the second half. 21 points, 12 assists, 6 rebounds, 8 for 21, 1 for 4 from 3 for Cade Cunningham in this game, 4 for 5 from the free throw line. I think there were a lot of shots I think Cade Cunningham took in this game. No, at least 2 or 3 shots that he took that there were no fouls called and should have gotten a call. There were a couple times that he was fouled and there was no call. Malik Beasley was amazing off the bench for Detroit, 20 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 7 for 16 from the floor, 6 for 12 from 3. And there was nobody on this floor tonight that had more threes than Beasley. Outside of that, there was only 10 other bench points for the Pistons. They had 30, and Beasley had 20 of those 30. The 10 was spread between Dennis Schroeder and Isaiah Stewart. 8 points for Schroeder. Schroeder was amazing in this game. 26 minutes, 8 points, 3 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. But there was this one transition where the Pistons were up by like 4 points, and Schroeder gets a block in the corner, and the rebound off the block goes to Malik Beasley, and the Pistons go get a transition bucket for 2. And then next possession, Schroeder, another key defensive play, gets a steal. It leads to another transition bucket. I want to say Schroeder assisted the bucket. I don't remember who he passed it to, but and it led to a Knicks timeout. And Schroeder, just played with a lot of energy in this game. I thought he looked good. Obviously, he didn't score a lot, but made some really big defensive plays for this Pistons team tonight. I thought that was key for them. But it definitely got to the point where some of those key defensive plays was they were helping the Pistons walk away with this game, but obviously the Knicks came back anyways. And so Isaiah Stewart played 19 minutes, 2 points. The rookie Ron Holland played 6 minutes, but didn't score. Had 2 rebounds, shot 0 for 1, missed a 3, and the Knicks get a game 1 win. We'll see how game 2 plays out. I got the Knicks winning game 2, and then I think the Pistons will win game 3, and I don't know what happens after that. That's my prediction. So that's as far as I'm going. I'm going Knicks game 2, Pistons game 3. That's as far as I'll go. Let me know your thoughts on this. I think it just depends on how the Pistons bounce back from this. So let's see how guys, come back from their first playoff loss ever. 5 of the 9 players that played today. I mean, you got other guys like Schroeder, Beasley, Hardaway, and Harris who, they've experienced this. But there are 5 other guys that played tonight, like Cade, Alsar, Duran, and Ron Holland, and Isaiah Stewart, who have not. So, yeah. And then other guys that didn't play tonight that have never played in the playoffs, like Simone Fontecchio, Marcus Sasser, two of the best players for the Pistons off the bench, never played in playoffs, never experienced this. So I know they didn't play tonight. I don't know if we'll see them in the series, but those are 2 other guys that don't have experience as well. But we'll see how the Pistons can bounce back. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and peace out.